Hey guys, what's going on? It's Corrupt, back again with another great gameplay commentary. Very excited to be bringing you this one. I've actually received a couple comments and actually a tweet or a mention on Twitter about creating a video where I talk about shooting styles. So the very first time I saw that comment, I don't know exactly who it was, but whoever it is, thank you for leaving the comment. I wasn't really sure exactly what they meant. You know, the first thing that came to my mind was, okay, shooting styles. Well, you put your right hand and your left hand on the controller, and you sort of put your right thumbstick so that your cursors, your crosshairs are on them, and you click the right trigger, and, you know, if they're at any sort of range, you click the left trigger. Very basic. But then I realized that it was meant to be a little bit more in-depth than that, like exactly where you're shooting on the person, hipfire versus aim down sights, things like that. But also another thing I just want to mention, this is actually a doubles game that me and my doubles partner Mayhem got. It's capture the flag on interchange, so this is game battles, and I actually use this gameplay on purpose because game battles, I find that you need to have a lot of gun skill and overall skill to play successfully. So I figured that when I'm talking about shooting styles, that's obviously all gun skill, be a good idea to talk about that sort of a thing. But anyway, look at this little magnum headshot through the bus. But yeah, so first thing I'll talk about is when to hip fire and when to aim down sight. Now this is actually going to change with every weapon, but for weapons, that essentially what happens is each weapon has a range where it's technically better to be shooting from the hip than from aiming down sights, because when you aim down sights, your bullets all fly in, generally speaking, well actually not even generally speaking, exactly that one point. So at close range, if you miss one bullet, if your crosshair your little sights, that's the word, sorry about that guys, but if your sights go off the person, you might miss a few bullets, while if you're hip firing, you just need to keep your crosshairs, generally speaking, on the person for your bullets to hit, and then you might miss maybe 1 or 2 bullets when you could miss 5 or 6. So it's a much better thing to do at closer ranges. But what you gotta learn is the gun you're using. Like, let's say, for example, the MP7. At mid-range, the MP7's hip fire isn't very effective, but at close range it is. But another example of a different style of hipfire would be the PP90 M1. That thing's hipfire, if you're using steady aim or even without, could hit people and kill them pretty effectively at mid-range. You know, the farther end of the mid-range, obviously, it's a bad idea. But generally, that's pretty much what you need, what you can kill people with. So what you need to do is pick a gun and kind of mess around with it for a game. Figure out, okay, I'm getting the kills a little bit easier with my hipfire at this range, and a little bit easier with my aim down sight on this range. And eventually, you'll just adapt to what ranges you need to be hipfiring or aiming down sight for. It's you know, it takes a little while to get used to, but once you get used to it, it'll help you a lot in gunfights. Another thing I also want to mention is that when you're hipfiring, a lot of people like to put the hipfire on the upper part of the person's body, thinking, okay, well, more of my bullets will go to their head. And you'll even notice right there I got a nice little hipfire kill. But that's not what you want to do. You want the very top crosshair, like you can see there's 4, one on the top, one on the left, one on the right, and one on the bottom. You want that top crosshair to be on their head. And the reason for that, assuming you're hip spraying at any sort of distance, obviously at like literal point blank knifing range, you know, you want to just put it on their body. You don't exactly need to focus where on their body. But, you know, at any sort of distance, you want that top crosshair to be on their head, and the reason for that is because then any bullet all bullets will fire either on that top crosshair or below it, down to the bottom crosshair. So the reason you'd want to put it on the their head on the top crosshair is because then no bullets will go above their body. So you'll either hit their head or you will hit their body, or it'll stray to the side of them. But for the most part, you'll be hitting them, and that's another important thing to keep track of when you're playing. So that's hipfire, but now let's talk about aiming down sights a little bit. So one thing that'll obviously help perk-wise is if you have quick draw. Obviously, that's going to help you. But, you know, a lot of people think, okay, well, Assassin's more useful, and I agree it is. So let's talk about exactly what you do when you're already aiming down sights. This is a terrible play by me, by the way. But when you're already aiming down sights, okay, where do I want to shoot on the person's body? Well, you got to think about the gun. Obviously, you want every bullet to go into their head. That will get the kill the fastest. At any range, no matter what, if every bullet hits their head, that will get the kill the fastest. But aiming for the head isn't always a good idea. Let's take, I don't know, the AK-47, for example. A gun that has a lot of visual recoil and a gun that has a lot of realistic recoil. So that gun, if you shoot for the head, maybe the first bullet, maybe the second bullet will hit the head, but after that, you're screwed. You know, you're going to be missing every shot. So, and you'll also notice right there, I actually did, you'll see it in slow-mo here, I did do a great job of controlling the recoil here. And you'll notice where I shoot in this final kill cam. You'll see, after I return the flag, of course, I'm shooting for the body so that the recoil will curve up towards the head. Most guns have vertical recoil. The G36 is another good example of a gun that has pretty visual vertical recoil. So generally, you want to be, no, I don't think any gun actually has like negative recoil where it bounces down. I know a couple have horizontal. I know the MP5 has horizontal recoil. I know the MP5 from COD 4 had a lot of horizontal recoil, but I don't think there's any guns that give like negative downward recoil. But anyway, another nice kill there. But you'll see I'm shooting for the body because you always want the recoil to bounce up towards the head. So essentially what happens is you just need to learn the gun. There's some guns like the CM901. When I use it, I actually shoot for like their groin area. I know that that's probably a brutal, mean thing to do, but the reason for doing that is that then your recoil will make it so you bounce up. Bad play on my part there too. Ugh, a couple bad plays, but we end up winning this, and I get some very nice pistol kills in here, which I wanted to use to show the exact effect that you know, having good accuracy can do. And shooting styles is essentially a way to show accuracy. You'll notice pretty much throughout this whole game I'm shooting at their chest, because the MP7 does have a little bit of vertical recoil, but not much. So if I was shooting for the head, I would miss some shots, but you know, more of them would hit. Generally though, you want to be shooting for their body. So essentially, as far as shooting styles go, you guys got to remember, hipfire is good at close ranges, and sometimes it's a lot better. Aiming down sights, great at long ranges as always, but you got to learn that distance when you need to adjust your shooting to hipfire or aim down sights. And then also you want to learn the recoil of the weapon you're using. You see, I even do well with a pistol at that mid-range mid-range for a pistol that I got in that final kill, and a couple other kills that I got with the pistol. It has a lot of recoil, but I'm controlling the recoil well. I'm shooting for their body so that I can release more bullets without having to burst fire a weapon. And finally, that'll be the last tactic I want to go over, is burst firing your weapon. And the reason you want to burst fire your weapon is guns with higher recoil. Let's say, I don't know, let's say the UMP, right? The UMP, as you saw in that kill cam, is a good gun, but unless you're using kick at really, really long range, let's say, I don't know, cross map on outpost or something like that, UMP is a horrible weapon to use in that situation. You're going to get outgunned by ACRs, Type 95, CM901s, light machine guns, MP7s, other submachine guns, you know, things like that, because it's a long range and it's got recoil. You know, at mid range and close range, it's a great weapon. But so what you want to look at that spawn? I got a couple weird spawns this game, but yeah. So you want to, so for the UMP, even if you're controlling the recoil fairly well, you're still going to end up shooting at like above them or to the side or something like that, just because of the recoil, the natural recoil of the weapon. So what you're going to want to do is with guns like the UMP, maybe the CM901, things like that, when you're shooting at really long ranges, only at really long ranges, you'd never need to do this at mid-range, is you want to burst fire the weapon. And essentially what I mean by that is tap the trigger, stop tapping the trigger, just keep tapping the trigger, so you're not shooting fully automatic. You're only shooting, you know, a couple shots at a time, or even maybe you can even single shot it, just shooting, you know, one shot at a time, just so that the actual recoil of the gun is minimized. It gives you the gun some time to jump to go back to the original spot you were shooting, so that you can line up the shot, shoot again. And if you're doing it quick enough, you'll be able to easily adapt to the situation and get the kill, long range, close range, etc. You know, with this 44 Magnum, this kid just came around the corner right here, and you'll see how I killed the kid. Right here, see? 1, 2, 3. I didn't spray the gun. I shot one bullet, I shot another bullet, I shot another bullet. I could have shot it slower, I could have shot it faster, but I got the kill. And, had I shot any faster, I would have missed a couple shots. He probably would have turned around and killed me, because I only get 6 shots in one clip, and it takes 3 to kill. But yeah, so this is pretty much shooting styles, guys. Remember, hip fire versus aim down sight. Pretty much determine the range you're at to determine if you need to do that. Then, remember to burst fire at long ranges. If you're using a gun with a lot of recoil, guns like the ACR, the Type 95, well, obviously the Type 95 bursts for you, but guns like the ACR or maybe the M4A1, the SCAR, guns with MP7, guns with less recoil, you could fire fully automatic, no problems, anything like that. And then of course the last gun that I wanna, the last thing is of course to I can't even speak. Remember, shoot for their body or for like kind of like their groin area, things like that, because that will yield the most results in killing speed, because you want to be shooting obviously at their head, but the only time you actually get to shoot just for their head would be a sniper kill. Anyway guys, this video is wrapping up. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that this clarified some shooting style techniques that you guys may or may not have had, and I hope that you guys can benefit from this video. If I didn't cover anything you wanted to hear about in this video, let me know in the comments. I will make it an update to this, or I'll update the description of the video. And if I did cover everything you wanted, awesome, let me know in the comments. Peace out, guys. Hey guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like and give it a thumbs up, and leave a comment and let me know what your favorite part was, because I love reading the comments, the positive comments. But on top of that, I also love reading the negative comments too, because it lets me know how I can improve to make better videos to help you guys out. So if for any reason you didn't like the video, or if there was any part you didn't like, please leave a comment and let me know. And if you feel the need to dislike the video, you can do that too. But I would honestly rather you see some negative comments so that I can improve on my videos. So why don't you guys go ahead and do that now? And if you check the description of this video, there will be plenty of links to other playlists that I have, as well as my Twitter account if you happen to have one. I post anywhere from 1 to 2 tweets a day to 20 tweets a day, depending on what sort of mood I'm in, what I'm doing that day. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. This has been Corrupt.